Hi, this is Takeyuki, and I have a new doll, and yeah, he needs a lot of work. I didn't do a box opening for this doll. My house is too messy. That's just the reason. My house is too messy. I have too much crap on my table, and there's really nowhere for me to do a proper box opening without you seeing garbage all over my house. So I'm not. Fuck it, I'll clean it later. Yeah, but anyways, I was sick for about 2.5 weeks. So my place got trashed. I'm finally feeling better, and just right when I start feeling better, this guy shows up. But I didn't really have enough time to clean anything, so I was like, let's skip the box opening. But this guy was a total wreck when I opened the box, and he looks a lot better now, but he still needs a whole lot of work. There was some gunk all over his crotch, like some yellowish crusty crap, and I had to sand that off. And he didn't have a ding dong to begin with when he came in, so I'm gonna have to make him a new one with some multi putty. So that's weird, like sculpting dolly dicks. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to do that to fix him up. And he's pretty yellow. I managed to fix a few like surface scratches by sanding him, and some of the yellowish nastiness came off when I did that. And there's some other areas that I had to sand to fix, and I've cleaned him from head to toe with some Winsor & Newton because he had some really nasty blushing that was like dirtyish, nasty blech, and he would had some smudges and splotches all over his legs and weird places where they shouldn't be. Like, he had his knees all blushed and stuff, but they were so faded and they looked really dirty, and there were spots on the back of his legs like someone had got pastel on their fingers and then they grabbed him on the leg and it left a spot there or something, and it was like in a few places on his legs. And I cleaned all that off, and all the gunk is gone, so he's gonna need some oxy-cleaning. Then I'm gonna have to make him new ding-dong, and he's also got like tons of little gashes. There's one on his shoulder, on his wrist, there's some on his crotch, and there's some on his D.O.D thing, and here, there's one on that side, and there's a few tiny scratches and other places that I'm gonna have to fix with some multi-putty, and his elastic is not wanting to go all the way back up in his hole. So I'm going to push that up there because it's being a dick. But yeah, so he's going to have to go through a lot. Once I get all that done and get the color matching, then there won't be too much of a problem. He's got a head coming in, and I might have to buy him some new hands because he only came with one hand that matched his body, and I don't know if like the other one got lost or broken or whatever, but he was given a different hand, and it so obviously did not match. One was one that was with an S hook, and this one has a resin hook. So the one that had the S hook was an obvious match because it was just as yellow as the rest of his body, whereas the other one's pink and peachy and didn't match his skin at all. And I took it off and replaced it with one of D.O.D's hands. And so I'm thinking that the other hand may have been a Dolmore hand as well, because they are almost a perfect skin match, and they are made pretty much the same way. So that might be it, or it could be another company that makes hands very similar to Dolmore kid hands. So, I don't know. So, yeah, it's kind of annoying. I'll just get him a new pair, maybe, from Dream of Doll. Um, Hopefully that'll get all those things fixed. His head will be in soon, and his eyes, but his wig will be a little bit of a wait. I do plan on getting another pair of eyes and another wig, because I want to kind of represent him at two different stages in his life, and his face pretty much looked the same, and so did his body. That didn't really change. It's his eyes and his hair that ended up changing. As time kind of passed, he ended up losing an eye, and it ended up being replaced with a different one, so he ended up with one teal eye and one brown eye. So I'm going to get a brown pair, and then I'll just like mix and match those two pairs of eyes. And when he was younger, he had two teal eyes, so they'll be fine for that. And when he was younger, he also had really, really long hair. As where he's older, he had really short, curly hair. So there's a huge difference there. So I'll have to get him a short, curly wig. The one that I bought is a very long silver one. It's like the same length as my D.O.D's hair. So that's the thing. As far as clothes go, I'll be making him a lot of clothes, but I've also just bought a whole bunch for like 16 bucks. This person was selling things for like $1 to $5 a piece. So I got some secondhand clothes, and they're much different from the style of stuff that I make. And my main reason is I really like this one skirt, and I bought like tons and tons of socks and leggings. Hopefully that will do some good. I really needed socks and leggings, and that's usually the only type of stuff that I buy. And I really do need to buy some shoes. I'll eventually be getting heeled feet for both of my boys. I guess the one thing that I can say that I really do like about this doll is his knee joints, and I love his little feet. And the reason I really like his knee joints, even though they're not aesthetically pleasing, he is so much easier to stand and pose when it comes to his legs. So much easier than my D.O.D. D.O.D has very flat backs of his knees. This is like a very round joint instead. Another thing I really like about his toes is his little pinky toe. I don't know how well you can see that, but I don't know. Just the way it's shaped, it reminds me of my own feet. I know that's really, really weird, but I don't know. I like my feet, but I really do need a pedicure. They need some care, I guess you could say. It's been a long time since I've treated myself to that. But I've got like really tiny feet, and they're, I don't know, I just like them. I don't like other people's feet though. I'm just like, ew. Maybe I'm just strange. So that's pretty much what I've got going on as far as that goes. I've got clothes, eyes, and wigs coming in, and I've got a body to work on. And this is my one finished doll. He probably is going to get some more wigs and eyes as well. I want to get like one short wig and some ponytail and pigtail attachments for it. So that's what I want to do. It's a lot easier than taking his hair and trying to put it up in ponytails, because when I try that, it just comes right off. And it's hard to do it when it's not attached to the head, because I can't make sure it's even and all that jazz. So I just want some with like little clips and stuff. So yeah. With him, the only modifications I've done is seam sanding. He had some pretty gnarly seams, and those are completely gone now. He's really smooth, no scratches or anything, so he looks fantastic. I'm very, very happy with him. And I think it would be cute to be able to put him in some boy clothes, so having a cute, really short, brown, pretty boy wig would be fantastic as well. Because when he was much smaller, he did have short hair, and as he got older, he ended up getting longer hair, so it's like completely backwards from the other character. That would be kind of interesting to try that out. These are both MSD dolls, and I haven't gotten myself an SD yet, but that kind of leads me into my next doll, and that's my Grail doll, and that is the Dollzone Oliver, and I'm hoping to get him at least by the end of the year. I'm not sure if I'll be able to or not, because I do have a gigantic move planned, and I want to be able to move all the way back out to Washington, and I'm hoping that will work out okay. If it doesn't, then I'll kind of be a little bummed out, but oh well. Right now I'm actually working on trying to get a job, and the only reason I got all the stuff that I have now for the doll is, actually I just had my birthday plus Christmas, So I had like a whole bunch of money that people gave me, and I chose to invest it in dolls and things that I needed. It's very rare that I actually get money for myself. About 90% of the time when it's my birthday or Christmas, people want to give me money and things for my son. And I'm like, ugh, dude, he has enough toys. I'm tripping over them and like I feel like I'm drowning in a sea of toddler toys. No more, please help me. And he's got more than enough clothes. So yeah, he don't need nothing. So, I decided that I wanted to get a new doll. And how I did that is I found one on Facebook for someone who just wanted to specifically trade clothes and stuff. So I gave away a bunch of clothes that I made, and some that came with D.O.D that didn't look right on him or didn't fit him. So I gave those away, and I got this body. And then I made some custom order USD size dresses. I made those by hand, and I traded those plus a tiny box of pastels and a small amount of money for a head. So hopefully when that gets here, it'll match this guy. I know that there might be some difference with the yellowing, but I can always fix that later. So I'm kind of excited about getting this guy all put together and having him completed dolly number 2. And I'm one of those people that likes to have a doll finished before I start another one. So the fact that Yodi's pretty much done made me feel like I was ready for him, and I don't think I'll be ready for my Oliver until I have this one finished. I have a lot of plans for Oliver. There'll be some ear modifications. Oliver has removable ears, but if you remove them there's a giant hole. So I plan on filling that and buffing it out and everything, and just fixing that up. And I have to get him his wig and some eyes and clothes and shoes, and he really, really, really needs a face up because the one that comes from Doll Zone just does not work at all for any of my characters, specifically Roy. It's never going to work for him. So what I'm going to end up doing is having him painted by Denali Wind, and hopefully that when I'm ready to have him sent out, she'll have a slot available, and then she'll be accepting face-ups at that point. And there are a couple of other artists that I wouldn't mind getting a face-up from, but she's the one that I really, really want to do. I think that her face-ups are almost perfect for what I want. It's very natural and subtle, and I don't know, it's just beautiful, and I think it'll work so well with him. So I'm excited about possibly having that done. It's just my goal by the end of the year is to be moved, to be having my new place set up out in Washington with a job, and at least have what I need for my dolls and Oliver ready. I don't necessarily know if I'm going to get him this year or not, and to be honest, I didn't think I'd end up with a doll at all, but here's one. So that's an exciting feat to have my second doll. And having my first was an extremely huge step because I've been wanting one since I was 14, and now I'm 23. So finally having that, that was an amazing feeling, and the love I have for this doll is just amazing. And I really didn't understand at all when you guys were like, oh, my doll is my baby, and now I'm just like, oh, I love him. And the one thing that I love so much about having a doll is being able to share him with my child. And my child is 3, almost 4, but he handles him so well, and he doesn't touch him at all without my permission. I can feel completely secure with my child touching my doll as long as I can be there to watch him. My doll setup is literally directly on the floor in the corner of my bedroom. He doesn't bother him at all. At all. He doesn't touch the doll. Unless I tell him it's okay. And he asks before he touches him. So that is amazing to me. And it makes me very happy because I know I never have to worry about my dolls. That was one thing that was a big concern when I got a doll to begin with. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing, what my plans are, and my hopes for the year. So, yeah, there may not be a whole lot of videos from me this year, unless they're like BJD Addicts prompts, maybe, or me sharing feelings about my dolls, or if any other random surprises come up. So, yeah, this was completely an impulse, and it ended up being a pretty good thing. Really excited about learning how to do these modifications properly and repairing this doll. He's already came a long way after being cleaned up and buffed out a little bit in places. So, we'll see how things go. Alright, bye guys!